So there's the Latino Caucus in Sacramento. They won't allow Latino Republican legislators into their caucus. So because there's more now, because several flipped seats like Jeff Gonzalez, they were like, hey, can we be a part of your Latino caucus up in Sacramento? And they were like, no. And they were like, why not? And they're like, because we don't like you. All right, but there's a video, so let's watch that. I think this is the head of the Latino Caucus in Sacramento. Ashley Zavala, the reporter, is talking to her.
Them in or barring them, that's not the case. It is a legislative Latino, it's a Democratic caucus. So just as I wouldn't ask as a Democrat, even though I'm Latina, to be a part of the Republican caucus, we don't share values in some regards.
The mission of the California Latino Legislative Caucus, I mean, it doesn't really mention anything necessarily democratic. It says it's to identify, promote, and advocate on behalf of the professional, educational, social, political, and cultural interests of the Latino community. But I mean, I guess now moving forward, I mean, with the stance, like, should we just be more clear that this is a group that is more geared toward and focused on democratic policies and elevating democratic Latinos?
Sure, we can absolutely do that, and I think we will. I mean, everything is very fluid this time. Obviously, we went through an election that we realized, we have to stand strong on our values. And this is one thing, whether you're a progressive Democrat or a mod Democrat, we believe in one thing, and that is supporting immigrant communities and not othering them, not dehumanizing them, and standing firm against many of these unconstitutional actions by the federal government.
All right. So that was her explanation, is that they don't adhere to our values, which is why they can't be a part of our caucus. This is the tweet. New after Democrats would not allow them to join the California Latino Legislative Caucus, Republicans are forming their own group, the California Hispanic Legislative Caucus. Co-chairs include Senator Suzette Martinez and Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez. And I found this issue odd because they're like, they don't represent our values, and it seems like such a narrow view, and it's almost insulting that like they think like all Latino voters think one way, like this one giant monolith of like, this is what Latinos care about. But in reality, they're losing the point of like what Latinos values are, in terms of like, maybe they care about the price of gas. Maybe they care about why there's too many taxes. Maybe they care about regulations. Maybe they care about the fact that the roads are like horrible condition. Like there's a lot more issues there. Like to me, it just seems so dehumanizing to think that the Latinos as a voting bloc are one monolith. And it's the same for like Asian Americans, Black Americans, to think like, just because you're a certain race or skin color, that you have to think along these lines. And to her, it's like abhorrent to be like, I can't believe there are Latinos who are Republican and don't agree with our values. And it's like, well, maybe they were elected because they stand for other values that like are more important to the voters, rather than these narrow issues or social justice issues that you keep pushing. And this could be a good move by Kate Sanchez and Suzette Martinez to create a new legislative caucus for Hispanics, by saying like, okay, we're going to represent Hispanic voters in California, but we're going to focus on stuff that like Hispanics probably care about. They're going to address, and it's going to help in the long run because they're going to be speaking to Californians.